Hello, this is Claire Carter-Smithson with Homeward Realty. I wanted to hop on today and talk to you guys about June's theme, which is all about those clients looking to downsize, are empty nesters, you've got too much house on your hand, just any of those situations. This month is really going to speak to you guys. So in order to jump on in there, I've got some interview questions that I have clients ask me when they are thinking about going through this process. So I thought I'd read you some of those and we'll go from there. So the first question I get is how exactly I go about working with those looking to downsize, those empty nesters, those sorts of situations. And the number one thing I try to keep in mind is how emotional it is. So not only is your home probably one of your biggest investments, but also there's a lot of emotion tied to it. So if your kiddos just graduated and have blown the coop, or if this is a home you've lived in for 50 years and it's just too much to handle anymore, all of that comes with a lot of memories and emotion, and it's very important to go slow, keep things calm, and really have a plan nailed down before we ever begin, so that there's no feelings of panic or rush or anything like that. Another question is, how do I ensure clear and constant communication with my clients? So the first thing that we ever do is we sit down and have a conversation. No pressure, no listing appointment, none of that. It's just a conversation between you and me. And we sit down, probably at your kitchen table over a cup of coffee, and we just talk about what's important. In that conversation, we're going to talk about communication. How do you like to be communicated with? Do you like phone calls? Are you a text person? Do you want everything in an email? Do you need it all written down? These are all things that are totally customizable, and it goes a lot better if we have that conversation right off the bat. So I know what you need, and then you also know when to expect a response from me and how that will come. Okay, so the next big question is going to be about logistics. So there are a lot of moving parts and a lot of different details to consider when moving homes, especially when going from a larger home full of things and memories and keepsakes to a smaller home that may not have the room for all of that. So not only do we talk about the financing part of it, we also talk about the logistics, the moving, the packing, all of that. And I like to break that down into stages. So it's not just, okay, clean your house out. It's not just cut and dry like that. So what we'll start with is just decluttering, depersonalizing, anything that you're not going to use in the next 6 months, let's pack it away. Let's go ahead and get it done. It's a great excuse to go through your attic or your Christmas decorations or anything like that. Also, if that is too overwhelming, I can connect you with several great companies that specialize in either seniors or moving companies, or there's even a lady around town who works just with emotional cases. So no matter what your goal is, I guarantee you I've got the person to help you with that. Okay, so what sets me apart? Why me? Why am I different in this case? So in this specific case, when talking about downsizing or empty nesters, I would say it's my personality. So when choosing the right real estate agent for you, you've got to think about experience and knowledge, but you also have to be able to not only communicate, but really vibe with each other and kind of know exactly what's going on in the other person's head. I am not the agent who is just fire and brimstone. Let's do this. Let's get the biggest and best deal. Let's move. Let's go, go, go. So I'm always going to be whatever your aspirations are, those are mine. I'm never going to put you on my timeline. So if it takes a long time, a short time, it does not matter. I'm here for the long haul and here to make my clients' dreams come true. And that takes patience sometimes, which I've got plenty of. So can you share some creative examples of ways that you've had situations work out in the past? Sure. So when thinking of very specific items in your house, Sometimes that means a custom piece of furniture that's 150 years old. Sometimes that means you need specific rooms for different hobbies. If you're into quilting and you need a 14-foot long room to come up with your quilting arm, all of these things have happened, and they're not always out there to be found. So if our search does not turn up the perfect house, a lot of times we think about new construction. So with new construction, you've got a lot less maintenance. You've got warranties, and you've got a lot of things in your favor if you're looking for a maintenance-free home. You also have the opportunity to make that perfect alcove to fit that buffet table or have a specific dimensions to different rooms. So that has happened before. Speaking of creative solutions, a lot of that boils down to money. So the first question I get a lot of the time is going to be, do we have to sell in order to buy? And the answer in most cases is no. So there are so many programs available now. You've got in-house financing that can pull equity from your current home, pull out cash to purchase your next, which actually gives you more buying power in this market. You can do a bridge loan, which takes into account the value of your current home and the one that you would like to purchase, so your budget for the next one. That would carry you through for the next 6 months or so until we could get yours sold. There's just so many different things, and I know so many talented loan officers with very creative solutions that that's really not even a problem in today's market at all. So what networks or tools or programs and stuff do I have access to? I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I know so many talented, useful people whose professions are built around helping people move. So it is my pleasure to connect you guys with the exact professional that you need for your situation, and that makes everything so much smoother. I know what I know. I also know what I don't know. So if there are ever questions about specifically moving companies or a packing company, finance company, any of those, I've got the person you need to talk to. How do you stay proactive and responsive in managing timelines in 2 purchases? So a big portion of my job is going to be the negotiating and also managing of a lot of different entities. So when you buy or sell a home, there are a bunch of moving pieces. You've got title work, you've got inspections, appraisals, finance, there's just a bunch going on. It's my job to worry about that, and I will remind you of each step as we go one by one, what is next, what is coming, what needs to be done now, and what to plan for in the future. So you don't have to worry about that. If any of this sounds like it applies or speaks to you, please reach out. You can call me anytime. You can check out my website for some added detail. You can look up my Google reviews or, of course, my social media for other details that you may be looking for. Otherwise, if I can help, please give me a call.